Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another video. This is WizWorks and today we're gonna do part 7, part 7 of the 5 analogous pairs, and this is a part of the verbal section of the GAT or Qudrat exam. Okay, so question number 1 says oceans, deserts, waves, question marks. So we have to identify the relationship. The relationship between oceans and deserts is that we can replace it. Like if oceans were deserts, then waves they're sand dunes. Why? Because let me show you what it looks like. So a ripple looks a little like this. A ripple looks a little like this. And then this is how a sand dune looks like. It looks a little bit like waves. That's why we chose sand dunes, because we said if oceans were deserts, then waves are sand dunes because they look like waves. And it has nothing to do with sea and dust because there's no relationship. Okay, so pork, pig, beef, question mark. So pork comes out of a pig. What comes out of a beef? Lamb. We just know this is common sense, so we don't really have to, I guess, hunt for the answer. But we know it's not going to be farmer, and we know it's not going to be herd, because it's something that's derived. So we know it's going to be lamb, because a cow is not derived from a beef. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. Illiteracy, education, flood, question mark. So what is illiteracy? Illiteracy is like lack of not knowing how to read and write, like lack of knowledge and whatnot like that. So the opposite of illiteracy is education. Flood, what's the opposite of flood? Well, in this case, we're not looking for the opposite of flood. We're looking for something that blocks the other thing. So since education blocks illiteracy, what does the flood block? What blocks a flood? A dam blocks a flood. Why? Because so we know that a flood is like flowing water like this, and then we have a dam that's like this. It's blocking it. It has little holes where water occasionally comes from. But yeah, that's how a dam looks like. And that's what it is, because it blocks the flood. And education blocks illiteracy. Okay, now let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 says dungeon, confinement, asylum, question mark. Okay, so we know that a dungeon is like a prison, and it's dark and it's scary. And when you're in a dungeon, you're confined. When you're in asylum, what are you? Are you shown mercy? No. Why? What's mercy? Mercy is like showing compassion or forgiveness towards someone, which is not shown in an asylum, nor is remorse. Why? Because remorse is like showing deep regret or guilt for committing something wrong. And in an asylum, you usually don't think that you did something wrong, because you are because the person is like crazy or just needs mental help. We have to look at C. C is truancy. And what's truancy? It's the action of staying away from school without a good reason. And that has no relationship with this word, so we can infer that the answer is A by the process of elimination. Okay. Well, another way we can think of this, actually, mercy and remorse are kind of closely related, so we can automatically cross this out. And truancy has no relationship, meaning that also the answer is going to be A. So yeah, process of elimination. So we have appraiser and building, critique, question mark. So the way I think of this is like, where does an appraiser stay? An appraiser stays like in a building. He can also, an appraiser is like a person whose job is to like assess the monetary value of something. So they're usually in a building. Where would they stay? In a building. A critique, where would they usually critique someone? In a book. In a book. So we know that the answer is A. We can automatically actually use the process of elimination too, because masterpiece has nothing to do with it. Gold is like something, it's not really somewhere you stay in. Masterpiece, gold, and judge is not really something you can stay in or like use to. So we know that the answer is A. Now we have completed our 5 analogous pairs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't hesitate to email me, wizworksyt@gmail.com, if you have any questions or suggestions. This is WizWorks, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next video.